We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Lisa McCrady's with us along with Marvin Cox, both from the Metro Action Commission, talking about some of the community assistance programs that are out there. Hope you're paying attention because there's a lot there to be had. And something you don't hear very often, we have these individuals saying, we have money we have to spend. What that means is they get a set grant, federal grant, and there are certain allotments they can only give out to each individual, and that's it. And so they have to have the need to show up at the doorstep. Otherwise, what's left over, they can't just go have a party. That money goes back and they get a new grant next year. So use it and show that the need's there, which it is. I guarantee you the need's there. It's getting the word out.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's why you're here. So let's touch on the Head Start just a bit more. And enrollment for the new school year?
So our new school year, we're actually in the second half of our current school year. And so our new school season starts in August. It's the second week in August for the 2020-2021 school year. I can't believe we're in 2020.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, we're actively enrolling for that now. It is income based, but children between 3 and 5 for our Head Start program. We have 7 locations throughout Nashville and Davidson County, and so we're ready to do. We have what's called advocates that are out in the community, and they're enrolling your children. We'll be at several places throughout Nashville and Davidson County. We'll be at the pre-K fair with Metro Schools pretty soon and next month. And so, but people can come to us, or we can come to you as it relates to enrolling your child. And
enrolling the child, if the Head Start wasn't there for some of these families, then the child would be while mom or dad is off at work, at home with a sitter or with grandma or something like that. Instead, so in a way, I mean, I know it's to educate and prepare these kids as they go, but it's basically also a daycare, meaning it's a place for these parents who are trying to work and get going to drop their children off where they know they'll be safe while they're at work.
We are considered in the category of childcare agencies. However, the structure and the environment is much more like it is school. So it is preschool, it is school readiness to get your child ready. So we have a schedule. We have a curriculum. We have set times that we're doing things throughout the day. There is a transition period or activity for children who will be going off to kindergarten. And so we're getting them ready for big boy and big girl school. And so we visit the school that's in the zone. We go through the whole lunch piece. What is probably the most, I guess, eye-opening for our children when they leave us is that in Head Start, the children eat very, very well, meaning that, you know, it's a family style, and we're passing around, kind of like Monell's, and they sit, we have conversations and all that. And so, you know, as much as you want to eat, you know, you're able to. And then school is a little different.
Cafeteria
Somebody is serving you, you get your food. And so we had one of the children, the parents came back and said, they don't give us as much food. I can't serve my own plate, you know. But you know,
I think
so that's
doing that with them, it teaches them manners of sharing a table with each other at that setting. But then, you know, you go off to school and then you're more independent. You have to learn to fend for yourself a bit more. Get your tray, right?
We do. Get your trays.
I think that. All right, so. I guess, what, 1,400 students last year?
We have 1,485 children that we are federally funded to receive.
The largest provider of
we're the largest provider
in the county.
In the county for birth to 5.
Okay.
So yeah, so we have a, our children are just wonderful. I mean, they are probably the most honest, and they are just a lot of fun, you know, because what we do is we want them to explore. We want them to ask the questions. The socialization skills is what we're really trying to make sure that they have. Them being able to advocate for themselves, them being academically ready. So that's why we do assessments to see where a child is when they come in. We do it again at the middle of the year. We do it again at the end of the year, because we're looking for the gains that they're getting cognitively, socially. If there are any behavioral situations that we need to address, we're able to address that.
So you will take special needs children, for instance, if there's a child with a learning, disability
or
physical disability, which is great. I mean, and you said from birth to 5, or is it 3 to 5?
It's birth to 5. So our early Head Start program is the birth part.
1, 2, 3, and where are they?
So they are at early Head Start, but the birth part starts actually with the mom is pregnant.
Though, right? It's like a nursery.
It is, but still kind of a school school environment because learning is everywhere. Children come in, they're ready to receive age-appropriate learning, just period. But we also work with pregnant moms, and so there's a prenatal care that's available to our pregnant moms, and so once they deliver, there's a period of time to where the baby is bonding, and we're going to do home visits, and then at 12 months of age, they come into the actual child care setting, so to speak, which is our early childhood education, or our early Head Start program. So when they start to approach 3, that's when they transition over to Head Start. So it's more of a classroom. It is a classroom environment, a little bit more structure. As it relates to the day and all of that, but learning happens just everywhere.
No, sure. And from the moment you're born, you're
you're ready,
picking it up. And again, there are income qualifications, just like with the utilities and energy assistance. Is it the similar type? Is it 30,000 for a family? Or?
No, it's going to be a little bit lower. It's going to be Head Start is 100% of the federal poverty level, so it's going to be a little bit lower. But
what is I don't even know what the federal poverty level is right now for a family. Is it like 28,000?
Well, for 150% is 38,625. So it's going to be lower for Head Start families. So if they're eligible for Head Start, again, we can assist them with their electric bill, and that's why we do bundle services. So if they got a child enrolled in Head Start, they're eligible for the energy assistance program as well.
Okay, I'm wondering, if some may be watching and thinking to themselves, what a great program. I know it's federally funded through a grant. Is there anything citizens in Davidson County can do to help, be it with donations or anything else, or is that kind of separate just because it's federally?
Yeah, it's separate because it's federally funded. However, volunteering.
Tell me about volunteering, or let's just say you're someone who's got, for whatever reason, left over from a construction project, 5 brand new air conditioners in storage. Can you bring those by? I mean, is that something you can take if they're brand new or no?
It just depends if it's in the box.
No, I'm saying, it's got to be new. It can be used. But I mean, if it's brand spanking new or someone wants to donate something like that. Okay, and what were you saying then?
So in volunteering, we have an incredible volunteer system or network here in Nashville.
Volunteering.
So you come and read or to help in summer cleaning. We have to clean our centers. And so there are a lot of people. They want, some people just want to come and pick up trash. I mean, it's just a lot of opportunities that we have within our Head Start environment, but a lot of readers we have coming in, which is really cool.
Where are the centers?
The centers are actually throughout Nashville and Davidson County, so I can give you.
Okay, but I mean, and they're like little. You said it's kind of like a child care, but it's also
we're categorized as a child care, but it is a school environment.
Okay, and what would they be called? And give me
Head Start Center. So we have Tom Joy Head Start out in East Nashville.
I know some of these we've been out to before. Okay, so those are the kind of places. And if someone's watching who has a child that they think would qualify for this, again, it's the same thing with the number I'll give out at the end of the show. Call, and is the need as great as it's ever been, in your opinion? You've been there for how long have you been there?
I am going into my 19th year at Metro Action.
So you've seen a lot of evolution in that time. And I'm guessing you would say that maybe some of the needs have changed a little bit, but I mean, is there as great a need as ever with this city growing the way it is, or is it leveling off? What do you think?
I think it's still there, but where our families live is different. And so we have more families who are transitioning to the south side of our county, and then we have this migration from the north, going to other places. And so what we're doing is charged to be, responsive to that and making sure that we have
here we got, centers. You know as well as I do, we've got gentrification.
We do.
And you've got people being forced out of places here, so they're having to move even out of the county maybe if they can. They can't afford to live here. Is that, I mean, and you guys still, I mean,
we do see a lot of families who are migrating to other counties.
I know, right.
Thankfully, there are programs like ours in other counties, but of course, we're watching that too. You have families who are now what we call doubling up, so multiple families living in one dwelling. You have people who are just, kind of from place to place, just trying to make it work here in Davidson County, and so Again, we're just trying to keep up with the need and making sure that we don't give the impression that there's not a need, meaning that we're sending money back.
Yeah, they're definitely, well, here's the thing. If you're living in Davidson County or can afford to live in Davidson County, you're probably not going to qualify for Metro Action Commission unless you've already been here, or as you said, they're moving together.
Yeah,
you know,
we have a lot of families who are still.
Oh, I know, they still are. But I mean, as I say, that the pressures are on and the costs, and so the need, I think, is as great as ever because everything is so darn expensive around here, and more and more people. All right, I want to put the number up on the screen. It's been there, so that's the number: 615-862-8860. And again, we said earlier, Marvin gave out his extension, which, if Joe's still listening, is 70120. 70120. But if someone calls that, are they going to get an operator there, or sometimes do you have to leave a message and you guys call back? I don't know how many.
They should get a live person. We have 2 people actually on the phones to handle that.
I think that the calls, doesn't that phone ring a lot?
It does. It does.
Wow. Okay.
And if we can't catch them, of course, there is a voicemail.
Yeah,
but what we're trying to do is we're catching those calls. Yeah.
Okay. And then how many folks work over there with you now?
Oh my goodness.
Caseworkers?
Totally throughout our whole agency is 325 roughly.
And that's kind of the folks that are working in the Head Start centers and everything else.
Our bus drivers, all of this. Other thing I mentioned, Head Start has bus transportation. We're also looking for bus drivers.
Like everyone else.
Yes. So please call our HR office if you have a CDL or if you have an F endorsement. Please call us because we're looking for drivers.
It's a split shift, and there's not a more important job on the planet than driving a school bus full of kids.
We have full-time position and
paid like it. All right.
We're doing the best that we can.
It's not your fault. It never is. You guys are doing the best. I just think they should get paid more. And I'm not talking about just with you. I'm talking about any school bus driver. Anyway, but I'm glad you mentioned that. So you need the bus drivers because that's the good thing then. There's a way that if the kids try to go to the Head Start Center closest to their home, right?
They can, or sometimes parents work
where they work,
so they want to be close to the job, and so we have that option available to our families.
So the bus driving would be picking them up at a stop near their home, and so.
And bringing them in, of course, and taking them back home.
So you have different buses for the different centers, and they just go to where it's at, and that can change with time.
And so, we have different types of buses. So we have the big buses, which require a CDL. Those are our full-time drivers. We also have what's called our shuttle buses, which are smaller buses and only require an F endorsement, which a lot of people have because it's not as tough to get those as it is the CDL. So we have both full and part-time jobs for the F endorsement drivers. And so if people could call that same number and ask for our HR office, we'll be glad to accept their applications.
That's a good one to end on. Everyone needs a good bus driver. Very important job. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you for having us again.
It was nice for you to bring Marvin. He's a nice guy. Marvin, thanks, man.
Always a pleasure.
All right, you guys take care.
Take
a break. Have a programming note right after this. Stay with us.